Chapter 1 of Souls for Sale. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Souls for Sale by Rupert Hughes. Chapter 1. Los Angeles! The sneering preacher cried as Jonah might have whinnied Nineveh, and with equal scorn. The Spanish missionaries may have called it the City of Angels, but the moving pictures have changed its name to Los Diablos, for it is the central factory of Satan and his minions, the enemy of our homes, the corrupter of our young men and women, the school of crime. Unless it reforms, and soon, surely, in God's good time, the ocean will rise and swallow it. Though he was 2,000 miles or more away, as far away indeed as the banks of the Mississippi are from the Californian shore, the Reverend Dr. Steddon was so convinced by his own prophetic ire that he would hardly have been surprised to read in the Monday morning's paper that a benevolent earthquake had taken his hint and shrugged the new Babylon off into the Pacific Sea. But of all follies, next to indicting nations, cursing cities is the vainest, and Los Angeles lived on, quite unaware that its crimes were being denounced in the far-off town of Calverley. The sun itself took 2 hours to make the trip, and though it was black night outside the little church in Calverley, it was just sunset in Los Angeles. There was scarlet fire along the ocean of oceans, whose lazy waves stroked the coast with lake-like calm. Over the wide sprawled city was a smooth sky all of a banana yellow, save for a stain of red grapes at the hem where the sky went down behind the sea wall of the Santa Monica Mountains. Among the multitudinous gardens, along the palm-plumed avenues, the twilight loafed. The day seemed to be entangled in the jewel-hung citruses, the fig trees, the papyrus clusters, the hedges foaming with the surf of Shasta daisies, the spendthrift waste of year-long roses, and the smother of vines rolling up white walls in contrary cascades and spilling a froth of flowers along the roofs of many-colored tile. To the north lay Hollywood, the particular Hades of the cinemaphobes, but curiously demure and innocent in the sunset. From certain surfaces there and in Culver City the light was flashed back with heliographic brilliance from acres on acres of the glass walls and roofs of huge factories, strange workshops where the enslaved sun and the chained lightning wrote stories in photographs. Millions of miles of tiny pictures were taken at a rate of 1,000 a minute. Tons of spooled romance went rolling all over the world, so that the girl and boy who embraced before one camera were later observed by coolies in Shantung, by the Bisharin of Egypt, and the sundry peoples of Somaliland, Chilkoot, Jeddah, and Alexandropol. Where not? Wherever the sun traveled and the moon reigned, they could watch this reeled minstrelsy, gleaming for the delight and indignation of mankind. Even when the sun had left this capital of the new art, some of the studios would glow on with a man-made day of their own. But most of the factories were closing now, since the toilers had begun betimes in the morning and were scattering homeward for rest or study or mischief. Los Angeles, the huge spinner, was finishing another day of its traffic in virtue, vice, laughter, love, and its other wares. Even Dr. Steddon, if he could have seen the realm he objurgated, would have confessed that the devil had a certain grace as a gardener and that his minions were a handsome, happy throng. But Dr. Steddon had never seen Los Angeles and had never seen a moving picture. He knew that the world was going to rack and ruin, as usual, and he laid the blame on the nearest novelty, as usual. His daughter had heard him lay the blame in previous years on other activities. She wished he wouldn't. But then she had not escaped blame herself, and she was in a mortal dread now of a vast cloud of obloquy lowering above her and ominous with lightning. As yet, the congregation had found no grave fault with her except a certain over-fervor in the hymns. Her voice had a too manifest beauty, an almost operatic zeal, as it floated from the loft of the volunteer choir.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?